Vissla is a surfboard company.
Okay.
And they put on a competition. They said, hey, we're looking to find new ways to make surfboards. Here's your challenge. You can only do it with materials that are waste. So first place in this thing ended up being a guy who built a board out of 150 aluminum cans. He built a surfboard out of 150 aluminum cans. I don't want to be riding no aluminum in the ocean, though. I mean, I'm sure there was a process to it, like you hollowed out the middle so it had air gaps in it and all that stuff. But he won first place. The guy that won second place, though, I think did more for the environment. And his name is Korey Nolan. And he spent 7 months collecting Dunkin' Donuts coffee cups. He's from New Hampshire, so that's the big coffee that you drink in New Hampshire.
Yeah, on the East Coast, it's all the Dunkin'. They're just Dunkin' now.
Oh, sorry.
They had to change the name.
Sorry.
I saw it on the news.
He spent 7 months collecting the cups for the competition, and he made a board out of 700 cups that he says it rides really great. And it's made from what otherwise would be sitting in a landfill forever. Now, I think where he may have gotten the second place on this one is he also used some bamboo. So
no, it wasn't truly all styrofoam coffee cups.
It wasn't all coffee cups. And he used some epoxy to finish the board. And he told the press, he's like, I know that coffee cup surfboard manufacturing is not the solution, but raising awareness and getting people talking about it and taking action is. I say, why isn't it the solution? I mean, I look at like Starbucks for a minute, like a short minute, they tried to be all, environmentally friendly. And they're like, okay, you buy one of our plastic cups, we're going to knock 15 cents off your cost of coffee when you get a refill. You're like, oh, well, big deal. There's no point in that.
Should be half.
It should be a lot more.
At least half, because it doesn't cost anything to make coffee.
Well, it does.
I mean, but
it's minuscule.
The cup is what costs everything. Because I worked at a place that served sodas and coffee, and it's the same thing.
So what?
The product that you drink is nothing. It's the cups, and I think most people know that.
8 scoops of coffee yields about 12 ounces of coffee, right? If you're going to make it in your percolated cup, in your coffee maker at home.
8 to 10.
8 to 10. They're charging $2.40 per cup on these things for 8 scoops of coffee.
You got to get your daughter out of the lemonade business and get her into the coffee business.
The profit margin is insane.
T-Town.
Cut us a better deal if we're refilling our own cup at Starbucks, okay? If you want to be all environmentally friendly, like, oh, we care about the environment. No, you don't. We start caring about the environment when you give me a good break on using my own
good
cup.
On this guy to raise awareness, and I've told you my thing about styrofoam, and it's just something we don't need. I mean, there's other things you can use.
Hot or cold.
Paper will do the same thing.
No, paper does not do as effective job.
They have a lining and it's thick. And why do you think Starbucks uses paper? I mean, come on, it works very well.
It gets you to buy more coffee later on in the day.
But you know what I do when I go to Starbucks? You kind of have a point. It's not as good as styrofoam because I have to get double cupped. I take 2 cups.
Yeah, you take 2 cups, or you get one of those sleeves, which is more waste.
And I get the sleeve too, and it's paper. But it can all be recycled. Styrofoam, not necessarily is the easiest to recycle.
But it keeps your stuff hot and cold a lot longer than paper does. Porous paper, unless I guess if you get 5 cups.
When do you think these K-cups from the Keurig or the Greenpeace and all that is going to start having an issue with the plastic that we throw away?
They've already had an issue.
The foil that's on there.
They don't like it.
My wife was saying, you should quit drinking those because the exposure to foil over a long period of time actually leads to amnesia. And I'm like, God, I forget things all the time. I'm always like, Jeff, what's that guy's name? What's that person's name? Might be happening to me.
I don't buy into that.
It's the Keurig effect.
No, it's it's the conscious effect.
The conscious effect?
Because you're thinking of this because you hear this nonsense. Like tinfoil is meant to keep things hot and cold or preserve them after you cook them.
I just don't understand why they have to use tinfoil when they can't use paper. Some of the K-Cup manufacturers use a paper top, like that one that you like.
The San Francisco blend. They're super friendly for the environment.
Yeah. You can recycle the whole thing.
You can compost the rings and all
not
that
recycle,
stuff.
but Anyways, I've just always thought they're just not getting enough heat yet, but that's because too many people love that coffee. Too convenient.
Well, that's why Starbucks doesn't get heat for having a horrible refill policy. Like, knocking 20 cents off my cup of coffee if I'm bringing you the cup. I'm bringing you the cup. You have no materials, okay? I bring them this cup. They knock 20 cents off the cost of it. They're like, okay, we can knock the 20 cents off of it.
Don't bring them a cup then.
But then I'm not doing anything for the environment.
Do you really care?
I do care because this keeps my coffee hotter longer than their cups do.
Okay, well, there you go.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.